Do you believe you live in a small world full of extremely interesting possibilities? Hi everyone, it's Kumar from Authentic Journeys with the Giving Gratitude series. Sometimes I believe I live in a small world with no possibilities, but those are the days I'm really going in the right direction. But most of the time, I feel like I live in a pretty good-sized world with a lot of possibilities. But then there are times when I realize the world is smaller than I think it is, and it's full of amazing possibilities that no one can ever imagine. I'll tell you why. About 4 or 5 years ago, when I decided that I would like to give back to India for helping me get my master's degree in social work, I was planning to go to India with my husband to Cochin, Kerala, India. And I wanted to go to a college there to talk about social work in America. I was working as a social worker here at the time. And I remembered there was a college called Rajagiri College in Cochin. Now this is a pretty reputable college, you know, it's well known all over India. And in fact, when I studied in Madras Christian College, we occasionally had students come from Rajagiri for various programs. So I was aware of the name, I knew about its reputation, and kind of had an idea where it was. So I started to do some research on the internet, and when I was looking up people to contact at Rajagiri, I saw an American face and name on their website. So obviously I was intrigued. I decided I'd email this person. His name is Bruce, and I told him what I wanted to do. I wanted to come to Rajagiri College and look around, have a tour, and maybe even give a talk to the social work students about social work in America. And, you know, I had no idea that, you know, I would have the opportunity to do this. And he actually did not work in social work department. He worked in the business department. But I thought, you know, I'll ask him for help anyway, since he's an American, I'm an American, maybe there'll be some kind of connection there. So lo and behold, I got a response from him much quicker than I anticipated. Probably in 12 hours, I got a response from him. I realized that he was not only from America, living in India, working at Rajagiri College, but he was happening to be visiting America at the time that he was emailing me his response. That's all good, but he was also in Rochester, New York, because he's from Rochester, New York, and I live in Rochester, New York, so I thought, wow, how can that happen, you know? So, you know, he called me, or I called him on the phone, I forget, and we met in person, and I found out he was here in the U.S. because Rajagiri College was starting to form partnerships with American colleges to do study abroad programs. At that time, I was doing volunteer work at Nazareth College in the International Education Department, headed by Dr. George Eisen. Now, Dr. Eisen loves India. In fact, he had quite a few decorations in his office from Kerala. So I knew he would be interested in this proposition. So I went back to Nazareth College. I talked to Dr. Eisen. I told him I met Bruce, and he was from Rajagiri College, and they were looking to make some partnerships here with American universities. So I kind of spearheaded that thing. And so what happened was we had a meeting. Dr. Eisen, Bruce, myself, a few of notable personalities from Rajagiri College's business department and social work department met. And that was kind of the start of discussions on partnerships. This was back in 2006. So, you know, he inspired me because I saw him and he actually had something else in common with me. Besides, you know, wanting and living in India, doing something as a job with foreign students and helping Indian students and things like that, which has been my kind of passion that I want to get back to doing. Hopefully I'll get the opportunity to. But he also studied his master's degree in India. I think it was his master's degree. He went to Indian Institute of Management, IIM, in Ahmedabad, and I think that's in Gujarat. So he also studied in India, and he kind of was in a similar situation to me because he was the only American at the college at that time. So he and I have a lot of interesting stories to share that have a lot of unique and similar qualities. So I appreciate him because, number one, he helped me to know there's somebody else out there who did what I did. I'm not the only one. It might be all romantic and idealistic to think I was the pioneer and I did all this all by myself, which isn't untrue to some extent. But it's nice to know that I can have somebody else out there who understands a similar kind of experience to me because they also lived it. The other thing I'd like to thank Bruce for is his generosity and, eccentric personality. I hope he's not going to be offended by me saying he has an eccentric personality, but somehow many of the people I have met, Americans who are in love with India, they have an eccentric streak to their personality. People think I'm eccentric too. I don't think I'm eccentric, but other people think I'm eccentric. I'm sure that must be his view on the world too. I mean, I'm sure he just thinks he's his own person and he's not eccentric, but there are definitely things I see in him that are eccentric, and I'm sure if I look at myself, I guess I could put that title on some of my qualities too. However, he has been very generous, and he also has helped me recently with some advice on different things that go on in India, how business is done in India, and he kind of gave me some coaching around that. Like, if I ever move back to India, what are some of the kind of procedures and bureaucratic measures that happen when a foreigner goes there to do business, and how to approach people in Cochin when it comes to business, and different kind of associations I could join or be a member of to do networking and meet other people and get my name out there. And he took his time with me, and he spent quite a bit of time emailing me back and forth, being on Skype and sharing a lot of really good information. He knows about it because he's starting his own business in India too. He's not in Cochin anymore, but he's still in India, and he has his own little venture that he's starting up. So, I appreciate him because he is doing something, I would love to do someday, is go back to live in India, give back to India what India has given to me, which is a great, affordable, and amazing education. And not only academic education, but a real life experience education and human relationships. So, I want to give back to India just as much as probably any other Indian who grew up in India, because what India gave me, I could not have gotten by staying here. None of it. I couldn't have got the cross-cultural experiences in the same way. I couldn't have got the education I got in the same way with the same affordability. I couldn't have got so many things that have become integral to who I am today if I hadn't studied in India, and India hadn't given me an opportunity to live and study there. So, I want to give back to the country and the culture and the people that have helped me to be what I am today. And I'm sure that's one of the other reasons that Bruce is in India, because he also studied in Ahmedabad, and I'm sure that experience enriched his life for the rest of his life. Of course, it brought him back to India, and he's also an American married to an Indian, and so we have some stuff in common. So it's nice to meet somebody else like that who loves India so much that is willing to kind of go and give back to a country that really isn't ours by birth, but is ours by spirit and love. So I appreciate him for that. So thank you, Bruce, for everything, and thank your wonderful wife, Jane, and I hope that we get to hang out soon and meet each other again. So thanks for watching this Giving Gratitude video, and keep tuned in for the next one. Have a great day.